Hi, I'm Wendy Bellino, and in this video I'm demonstrating the ALSB, or Assembly Line Scrapbooking technique, to create a digital scrapbook layout using Club Scrap's August 2017 digital kit Lagoon. Here I've already created a 12 by 12 document with a transparent background and opened the files I want to use, and I'm selecting one of the panel images in the Lagoon kit that I wanted to use as my first layer. I'm just adjusting that, and I'm cropping out the excess hanging off the outside of the document boundaries. And I'm just going to kind of look at the layout diagram there, and I'm going to start with the base layer, which will be paper A. And the cutting instructions are listed right underneath, and they're labeled. Start with the 7 by 12 piece on that paper A. As you can see, the other piece will be on the second layout there, but I'm not going to use that one. I'm just going to use that first layout. I decided to use the dark teal color from the color swatch, and I've already created some solid backgrounds. And I added a texture overlay to a couple of my backgrounds using this texture layer kit from Club Scrap, and I'll have that listed in my supplies list underneath my video. I'm just going to use the marquee tool and punch in the dimensions of the piece that I want to cut, just like I was going to cut it out of paper. And I'm going to layer that piece on top of my background. And then for the grid pieces, I decided to use this light teal color, and I did create this solid background also using the color swatch. I'm just checking the cutting diagram dimensions, trying to decide what piece belongs where. It's like putting a puzzle together. I'm using the marquee tool again and putting that onto my layout. Now I've finished cutting all of my pieces out and layered them. Now I'm going to add a title. I'm going to use the font that was recommended for use in the kit this month, and I'll have links to all that too. I'm just creating a text box, and I decided to use the dark teal from the color swatch. I'm just going to resize that and put it into place. And commit the changes with the little check mark. I'm sorry, and I'm changing the color there. Oh, that's done. Now I'm going to add a stroke outline to my title, and decided to use that sand color. Now I'm going to add some shadowing to all of my little grid pieces. Normally I like to add a custom shadow, but with so many little pieces on here it would have taken a really long time, so I decided just to tweak the default settings a bit. I do like to have the lighting angle at -45 degrees instead of the default setting, so I usually change that. And then I just kind of tweak the other settings a little bit to my liking. And then I'll copy that layer style and paste it to all my other pieces. It's quick and easy. I decided I didn't like that, so I tweaked it a little bit more. It's the beauty of digital scrapbooking. You can change your mind easily. And I just copied that layer style and pasted it to everything, and my shadowing was done. And here I'm adding some shadowing to my title. Same thing. I did notice that when I change the lighting angle from the default setting, even when I copy and paste it, I still have to go back in and make sure that it's the new angle that I entered. And decided to add for the rest of my title a font from the Castaway kit, Club Scraps Castaway kit. And I kind of positioned all my pieces where I wanted them and enlarged them and added a little bit of a shadow behind them. Now I'm going to work on adding my photos. Instead of cropping my photos and entering the dimension, like I would with the marquee tool, I prefer to do it this way. I select them, copy them, and add a new layer and paste them into that new layer selection. And then I can resize them how I want, just a little bit easier for me. I mean, of course, you can crop your photos any way you want to and layer them, but this is my go-to method. And all of my pictures are on there now. I'm just going to start adding some different elements and little things. Went back to that Castaway kit again and looking for a journaling block there. Picked a couple of the overlays and decided to go with that medallion. So I'm going to layer that on top of some of that sand, piece of that sand background. And do as I say, not as I do. I probably should have copied that, made a copy of that medallion, because if you forget to save that and change it, you're in big trouble. And I selected out my image with the marquee tool and cropped out what I didn't want. Now it looks like a journaling tag. Move that onto my layout, and now I'm going to tweak a couple of things. I decided I didn't like the sand strips, paper strips, and I'm going to use this little strip that was included in the Lagoon kit instead. And I'm just going to position that and resize it just a little bit. And I did end up later deleting the sand colored strips that are underneath there. Now I'm going to add some journaling to my little journaling block. I actually used text that my sister had sent me in a text about these photos. They were really funny because I was getting a play-by-play of Kyle's appointment at the dental office. All that's done, and now I'm just adding some extra elements. And again, I went back to that Castaway kit, and like that teal raffia with the staple in it, so I'm just gonna resize that and edge it into place. I'm just adding some shadowing. And of course I have to tweak those shadows. And I decided to add a couple of extra elements. And again, these are from the little Castaway kit. Gosh, these kits just, the color of the kit, because the Castaway kit is from 2010, the colors just look so great with this Lagoon kit. And that is available on the Club Scrap website. And just resizing that, and deleted the I in the title, the fish title. I'm just kind of resizing things, giving it a little shadow again. I'm just tweaking things a bit there. I was on top of the fish layer. I was trying to decide whether I wanted it on top or below. Needed to be on top because I wanted it to look like it was real. And then I ended up wanting to add a copy of that little starfish at the bottom. And then I decided I didn't like the white seaweed, so I changed that out for this darker one with a little more green and teal in it. I'm just going to resize that a bit and flip it around, get it just where I want it. And that's my finished layout. I encourage you to visit the Club Scrap blog and check out what all the other artist team members have created. And if you have any questions, you're welcome to email me. I'll have that listed below underneath the video. And thanks for watching.